and what I'd like to maybe invite you to do by the end of this talk is explore where you are today for two reasons. One, so that you can contribute more. And two, so that hopefully we can not just understand other people more, but maybe appreciate them more and create the kinds of connections that can stop some of the challenges that we face in our society. They're only going to get magnified by the very technology that's connecting us, because it's making us intersect. And that intersection doesn't always.
What is this? Just a talk with a bunch of different people that covered various topics?
Yeah, everything.
So I had an obsession basically for 30 years. And that obsession has been.
Find it on, is that Netflix?
Yeah. Came on that way. What is the difference in the performance? Because that's the way to hire you. I get the result now. That's what I've done for 30 years. I get the phone call when the athlete is burning down on national television.
I'm gonna get a haircut tomorrow.
They had 5 strokes and now they can't get.
It's getting loud
Yeah,
again.
I got to do something right now to get the result of nothing now. I get the phone call when the child is going to commit suicide. I got to do something right now. And in 29 years, I'm very grateful to say I've never lost more than 29 years. It doesn't mean I won't someday, but I haven't done it. And the reason is an understanding of these human needs I want to talk to you about. So when I get those calls about performance, that's one thing. I kind of make a change. But also, I'm looking to see what is it that's shaping that person's ability to contribute, to do something beyond themselves. So maybe the real question is, I look at life and say there's 2 master lessons. One is there's the science of achievement, which almost everyone in this room has mastered to an amazing extent. That's how you take the invisible and make it visible, right? How do you take what you dream about and make it happen? Whether it be your business, your contribution to society, money, whatever it is for you, your body, your family. But the other lesson of life that is rarely mastered is the art of fulfillment. Because science is easy, right? You know the rules, you write the code, you follow and you get the result. Once you know the game, you up the ante, don't you? But when it comes to fulfillment, that's an art. And the reason is it's about appreciation and it's about contribution. You can only feel so much by yourself. So I'm at an interesting laboratory to try to answer the question of the real question, which is what's the difference in somebody's life if you look at somebody like those people that you've given everything to, like all the resources they say they need. You gave them not a $100 computer, you gave them the best computer. You gave them love, you gave them joy, you're there to comfort them. And those people very often, and you know some of them I'm sure, end up the rest of their life with all this love, education, learning, and background, spending their life going in and out of rehab. And then you meet people that have been through ultimate pain, psychologically, sexually, spiritually, emotionally abused, and not always, but often they become some of the people who contribute the most to society. So the question we're going to ask ourselves really is, what is it? What is it that shapes us? And we live in a therapy culture. Most of us don't do that, but the culture is therapy culture. What I mean by that is the mindset that we are our past. And everybody in this room, you wouldn't be in this room if you bought that theory, but the most of society thinks biography is destiny. The past equals the future. And of course it does if you live there. But what people in this room know, and what we have to remind ourselves of, is you can know something intellectually. You can know what to do and then not use it, not apply it. So really what we're going to remind ourselves is decision is the ultimate power. That's what it really is. Now when you ask people, have you failed to achieve something? How many have ever failed to achieve something significant? I'd say I. Thanks for the interaction at a high level there. But if you ask people, why didn't you achieve something? Somebody who's working for you, or a partner, or even yourself. You failed to achieve a goal. What's the reason people say they failed to achieve? What do they got? Didn't know enough. Didn't have the knowledge. Didn't have the money. Didn't have the
drive.
Didn't have the technology. Didn't have the Supreme Court. What do all those, including the Supreme Court, have in common? They are claim to you missing resources. And they may be accurate. You may not have the money. You may not have the Supreme Court. But that is not the defining factor. And you correct me if I'm wrong. The defining factor is never resources, it's resourcefulness. And what I mean specifically, let me use some phrase, is if you have emotion, human emotion, something that I experienced from you day before yesterday at a level that is as profound as I've ever experienced, and if you communicate with that emotion, I believe you would have beat his ass and what? But how easy for me to tell him what he should do. Idiot, Robin. But I know when we watch the debates, when we watched the debate at that time, there were emotions that blocked people's ability to get this man's intellect and capacity and the way they came across to some people that day. Because I know people that wanted to vote in your direction and didn't. And I'm upset. But there was emotion that was there. How many know what I'm talking about here? Say I. So emotion is in it. If we get the right emotion, we can get ourselves to do anything. We can get through it. If you're creative enough, playful enough, fun enough, we can get through to anybody, yes or no. If you don't have the money, but you're creative and true enough, you find a way. So this is the ultimate resource, but this is not the story that people tell us. Right? The story people tell us is a bunch of different stories. They tell us we don't have the resources, but ultimately, if you take a look here, put it up if you will. They say, well, the reason we have a problem is that at some place, he's broken my pattern, that's not a bitch. But I'm appreciating the energy, I'll tell you that. What determines your resources? We said decision-shaped destiny, which is my focus here. If decision-shaped destiny, what determines it is 3 decisions. What do you got to focus on? Right now, you have to decide what you're going to focus on. In this second, consciously or unconsciously. The minute you decide to focus on something, you got to give it a meaning. And whatever that meaning is produces emotion. Is this the end or the beginning? Is God punishing me or rewarding me, or is this the roll of the dice? And emotion then creates what we're going to do, or the action. So think about your own life, the decisions that have shaped your destiny. That sounds really heavy, but in the last 5 to 10 years, 15 years, how many of the decisions you've made, if you made a different decision, your life would be completely different? How many can think about, honestly? Better words, say,
Every decision.
So the bottom line is, maybe it was where to go to work, and you met the love of your life there. Maybe it was a career decision.
Said every decision you make, it affects your life in some way, even the smallest decisions.
When they make that decision versus build their own world bigger, how their lives because of their impact.
What?
The history of our world is these decisions. When a woman stands up and says, no, I won't go to the back of the bus, she didn't just affect her life. That decision shaped our culture. Or someone standing in front of a tank. Or being in a position like R.F. Armstrong, when someone says to you, you got testicular cancer. That's pretty tough for any male, especially if you ride a bike. You got it in your brain, you got it in your lungs. But what was his decision on what to focus on? Different than most people. What did it mean? It wasn't the end, it was the beginning. What are they going to do? He goes off and wins 7 championships he never won once before the cancer because he got emotional fitness, psychological strength.
Except they found out he was doping and he lost every single one of his titles.
I've had 3 million people from 80 different countries that I've had a chance to interact with over the last 29 years. And after a while, patterns become obvious. You see that South America and Africa maybe connect in a certain way, right? Other people say, oh, that sounds ridiculous. It's simple. So, what shaped Lance? What shapes you? 2 invisible forces. Very quickly. 1, state. We all have had times. If you had a time you did something and after you did, you thought to yourself, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. That was so stupid. Who's been there? Say, I. Have you ever done something after you did it? You go, that was me. Right? It wasn't your ability, it was your state. Your model of the world is what shapes you long term. Your model of the world is the filter. That's what's shaping us. That's what makes people make decisions. We want to influence somebody, we don't even know what already influences them. And it's made of 3 parts, I believe. First, what's your target? What are you after? Which I believe is not your desire.
Your desire making a snowball.
I never got to go and desire thought. It's all
Every
there. Say, I.
And a bunny
So
too.
the needs we have, I believe there's 6 human
No,
needs.
that's not a bunny, it's a squirrel.
Once you know what the target that's driving you is, and then you uncover the truth. You don't form it, you uncover it. You find out what's your map. What's the belief systems that are telling you how to get those needs? Some people think the way to get those needs is destroy the world. Some people it's to build something, create something, love someone. And then there's the fuel you pick. So very quickly, 6 needs. Let me tell you what they are. First one, certainty. Now these are not goals or desires. These are universal. Everyone needs certainty that they can avoid pain, at least be comfortable. Now how do you get it? Control everybody, develop a skill, give up, smoke a cigarette. And if you're not totally certain, ironically, even though we all need that, like you're not certain about your health or your children or money, you don't think about much. You're not sure the ceiling's going to hold it. You're going to listen to any speaker. But when we focus certainty differently, we get total certainty. You get what? When do you feel if you're certain, you know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what do you feel? All out of your mind. So God, in her infinite wisdom, gave us a second human need, which is uncertainty. We need variety. We need surprise. How many of you here love surprises? Say, bullshit. You like the surprises you want. The ones you don't want, you call problems, but you need them. So variety is important. Have you ever looked at a video or a film that you've already seen? Who's done this? Get a fucking life. Why are you doing it. You're certain it's good because you read it before, saw it before, but you're hoping it's been long enough you've forgotten what you're writing. Third, you need critical significance. We all need to feel important, special, unique. You can get it by making more money. You can do it by being more spiritual. You can do it by getting yourself in a situation where you put more tattoos and earrings in places humans don't want to know. Whatever it takes. The fastest way to do this, if you have no background, no culture, no belief in resources or resourcefulness, is violence. If I put a gun in your head and I live in the hood, instantly I'm significant. 0 to 10, how high? 10. How certain am I you're going to respond to me? 10. How much uncertainty? Who knows what's going to happen next? Kind of exciting. Like climbing up into a cave and doing that stuff all the way down there. Total variety and uncertainty. And it's significant, isn't it? So you're willing to risk your life for it. So that's why violence has always been around, will be around, unless we have a consciousness change as a species. Now you can get significant in a million ways, but to be significant, you got to be unique and different. Here's what we really need. Connection, love, fourth thing. We all want it. Most people settle for connection because love's too
Yep.
Don't want to get hurt. Who has ever been hurt in an intimate relationship? Say hi.
Yeah, I drive all the time. Holy, there's a big pile of clothes there.
And you're going to get hurt again.
Those are all my color, right, from cleaning.
Here's what's true. We need it. We can do it through intimacy, through friendship, through prayer, through walking in nature. If nothing else works for you, get a dog. Don't get a cat, get a dog. Because if you leave for 2 minutes, it's like you've been going for 6 months when you show back up again 5 minutes later, right? Now, these first 4 needs, every human finds a way to meet. Even if you lie to yourself, even if it's split personalities. But the last 2 needs, the first 4 needs are called the needs of the personality, is what I call them. The last 2 are the needs of the spirit. And this is where fulfillment comes. You won't get fulfillment from the first 4. You'll figure a way, smoke, drink, do whatever, meet the first 4. The last 2, number 5, you must grow. We all know the answer. If you don't grow, you what? If the relationship's not growing, if the business is not growing, if you're not growing, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how many friends you have, how many people love you, you feel like hell. And the reason we grow, I believe, is so we have something to give about it. Because the 6th need is to contribute beyond ourselves. Because we all know, corny as it sounds, seeking living is giving. We all know life's not about me, it's about we. This culture knows that. This thing knows that. And it's exciting. When you see Nicholas up here talking about his $100 computer, the most passionate scientist, he's a genius. But he's got a calling now. You can feel the difference in him. It's beautiful. And that calling is meant for the people in my own life. My life was touched because when I was 11 years old, Thanksgiving, no money, no food, and we're not going to starve, but my father was totally messed up. My mom was letting him know how bad he messed up. And somebody came to the door and delivered food. My father made 3 decisions, and I know what they were briefly. His focus was, this is charity. What does it mean? I'm worthless. What I got to do? Leave my family, which he did. The time of the most painful experiences of life. My 3 decisions gave me a different path. I said, focus on, there's food, but the concept. Second, but this is what changed my life. This is what shaped me as a human being. Somebody's gift. I don't even know who it is. But my father always said, no one gives a shit. All of a sudden, somebody I don't know, they're not asking for us, giving my family food, looking out for us. It made me believe this. What does it mean? That strangers care. And what that made me decide is strangers care about me and my family. I care about them. What am I going to do? I'm going to do something to make a difference. So when I was 17, I went out one day on Thanksgiving. It was my target for years. Having enough money to feed 2 families. The most fun thing I ever did in my life. The most moving. Then next year I did 4. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. Next year, 8. I wasn't doing it for brownie points. But after 8, I thought, sure, I could use some help. So sure enough, I went out, and what did I do? I got my friends involved, and I grew companies, and 11 companies, and I built the foundation. And now, 18 years later, I'm proud to tell you, last year we fed 2 million people in 35 countries through our foundation, all during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all different countries around the world. Thank you. So I don't tell you that to brag. I tell you to be proud of human beings because they get excited to contribute once they have the chance to experience it and not talk about it. So finally, I'm glad I have time. The target.
Draggers and the
Here's
Jets.
what's different about people. We have the same needs, but are you a certainty freak? Is that what you value most? Or uncertainty? This man here couldn't be a certainty freak if he climbed those gates. Are you driven by significance or love? We all need all 6, but whatever your lead system is tilts you in a different direction. And as you move in a direction, there's a destination or destiny. The second piece is the map. Think of that as the operating system tells you how to get there. And some people's map is, I'm going to save lives even if I die for other people, and they're firemen. Somebody else says, I'm going to kill people to do it. They're trying to meet the same needs of significance, right? They want to honor God or honor their family, but they have a different map. And there are 7 different beliefs. I can't go through them because I'm done. The last piece is emotion. I say one of the parts of the map is like time. Some people might be a long time, it's 100 years. Somebody else says is 3 seconds, which is what I have. And the last one I've already mentioned it, don't you? If you got a target and you got a map, and let's say, I can't use Google because I love maps, and they haven't made it good for maps yet. So use MapQuest. How many made the fatal mistake of using MapQuest at some point? You use this thing and you don't get there. Well, imagine if your beliefs guarantee you can never get to where you want to go. The last thing is emotion. Now, here's what I'll tell you about emotion. There are 6,000 emotions that we all have words for in the English language, which is a linguistic representation, right? It changes by language. But if your dominant emotions, if I have one time, I have 20,000 people or 1,000, and I have them right down all the emotions that they experience in an average week. And I give them all the thing. And on one side there are empowering emotions, the other is disempowering. Guess how many emotions people experience? Less than 12. And half of those make them feel like shit. So they got 5 or 6 good freaking feelings. Right? It's like they feel happy, happy, excited, oh shit, frustrated, overwhelmed, depressed. How many of you know somebody who, no matter what happens, finds a way to get pissed off?
Your laptop's dying.
Or no matter what happens, no matter what
Sounds
happens,
like it.
they find a way to be happy or excited. I don't know if you know this. When 9/11 happened, I'll finish with this. I was in Hawaii. I was with 2,000 people from 45 countries. We were translating 4 languages simultaneously for a program that I was conducting for a week. The night before was called Emotional Mastery. I got up, had no plan for this, so I said, I'll be honest, fireworks, any crazy shit, and stuff. And then at the end I stopped, and I just planned I was going to say, but I never really want to say. And all of a sudden I said, when do people really start to live? On the face down. And then what's this whole thing about if you were going to get off this island, if 9 days from now you were going to die, who would you call, what would you say, what would you do? One woman, well that night is when 9/11 happened. One woman had come to the seminar, and when she came there, her previous boyfriend had been kidnapped and murdered. Her friend, or new boyfriend, wanted to marry her, and she said no. So you leave her Hawaii thing, it's over with her. She said it's over. When I finished that night, she called him and left a message, true story, at the top of the World Trade Center, saying, honey, I love you. I just want you to know, I want to marry you. It was stupid of me. She was asleep. It was 3 a.m. for her when he called her back from the top and said, honey, I can't tell you what this means. He said, I don't have to tell you this, but you gave me the greatest gift on the top. And she played the recording for us in the room with Larry King Ledge. And he said, you're probably wondering, how on earth this can happen to you twice? And he said, all I can say to you is, this must be God's message to you, and from now on, every day, give your all, love you all. Don't let anything ever stop you. She finishes, and a man stands up and he says, I'm from Pakistan, I'm a Muslim, I'd love to hold your hand and say I'm sorry, but frankly, this is retribution. I can't say the rest because I'm out of time. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. So I want to be respectful. 10 seconds. All I can tell you is I brought this man on stage with a man from New York who worked in the World Trade Center because I had about 200 New Yorkers there. More than 50 lost their entire companies, their friends, marking up their palm products. One financial trader, this woman made of steel, bawling. 30 friends crossing up and all died.
Oh my God.
And when I did people said, what are we going to focus on? What does this mean? What are we going to do?
Just dead.
I took the group and got people to focus on it. You didn't do somebody today. Your focus is how to serve somebody else. There are people going home with that, and she's so angry and screaming and yelling. And she wasn't from New York. She's not an American. She doesn't know anybody here. I said, you always get angry. She said, yes. Guilty people got guilty. Sad people got sad. And I took these 2 men and did what I call an indirect negotiation. Jewish man with family in the occupied territory, some New York who would have died if he was at work that day. And his man didn't want to be a terrorist. I made it very clear. And the integration that happened is on the film, which I'll be happy to send you. So you can really see what actually happened instead of my verbalization of it. But the 2 of them not only came together and changed the beliefs and models of the world, they worked together to bring, for almost 4 years now, to the various mosques and synagogues the idea of how to create peace. And he wrote a book, which is called My Jihad, My Way of Peace. So transformation can happen. So my invitation to you is this. Explore your web, the web in here. The needs, the beliefs, the emotions that are controlling you. For 2 reasons. So there's more of you to give. They're cheap too. We don't want to do it, but I mean, give. So that's what's going to fill you up. And secondly, so you can appreciate, not just understand, that's intellectual, that's mine, but appreciate what's driving other people. It's the only way our world can change. God bless you. Thank you. I hope it's a certain thing on it.
Probs? Am I learning stuff? I'm not really paying attention.
Well, you have it on YouTube so you can listen.
Listening.
Wait, play?
It goes from very severe, the Playername nonverbal, all the way up to brilliant scientists and engineers, and I actually feel at home here because of a lot of autism genetics here. You wouldn't have any, it's a continuum of traits. One is a nerd turning into a Asperger, which is not autism. Einstein and Mozart and Tetrisphere with all the toy diagnosis of autism spectrum today. And one of the things that concern me is getting these kids to be the ones that are going to invent the next energy types. Now, let's go about this morning. Okay. Now, if you want to understand autism animals, I want to talk about thinking. You have to get away from verbal language. I don't think so. Now, the thing about the autistic mind is they tend to okay, this is a test where you have to pick out the big letters or pick out the little letters, and the autistic mind picks out the little letters more quickly. And the thing is, the more your brain relates to detail, well, the ability to bridge details is very important when you slow down a bit more of detail. And one of my big concerns with a lot of policy things today is things are getting too abstract. We're getting away from doing hands-on stuff. I'm really concerned that a lot of the schools have taken out the hands-on classes because art and things like that go into practice where I excel. Okay, in my work with cattle, I noticed a lot of little things that most people don't notice that make the cattle talk. Like, for example, this flag waving.
Am I what, sorry?
Don't grow up.
Maybe. Well, you're not going to be here for walks. You're going to that play.
No. What time is that? To watch?
7 till 8.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'd love to go.